Sorry, sir. This is all the only thing I know how to do. So it's what I'm gonna do. Well, that looks like it's gonna hurt.
Oh, chill out.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Let her rip.
Ow. No, get into that thing.
Get back. Yeah.
We're so dead.
Woohoo! Let's shred, Sharky.
Now that you just got whirly-googed. I don't know what that thing's called. Twirly
We
whirly?
actually won!
You sound surprised. Nice job. Turns out he wasn't any stronger than the ones we fought in the past.
That's what he gets for underestimating you two. Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely fantastic. This makes me so unbelievably happy. I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable. Huh? What's happening?
Her ancient name. Wait, it had more characters on it.
My ancient name is
Oh, hers.
glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, do all of you have obsidian that looks like that with your ancient name on it? Because, I mean, Gina has two now.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
That was a bold move.
Oh, it was a dude.
Diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend. Especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption.
Are you the original ancient name bearer of Mualani's name? Whatever her name is.
Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said
Damn,
was
he's big.
exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand no chance against the power of the Abyss. It took years' worth of scars and lots of unnecessary suffering for me to understand that for myself. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone has a part to play.
So here we go. This is the first time in-game we've had a mention of the Pyro Archon's plan. Please, do tell. I'm intrigued. Farina's plan was fucking awesome, so I'm expecting something on level with Farina and the Hydro Archon's plan. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name.
Only then will we have the power to defeat the strongest of foes.
Who are you?
His name is literally emblazoned on his chest. It's the same name that was on your stone of ancient name. Why are you asking who he is?
Tupac, a warrior from the
Tupac,
people
guys.
of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
Wow, he really is a hologram.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Are you literally a giant? A giant's actually a thing on Teyvat. This is the first time we've encountered one.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wyab. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame.
Cringy and dramatic at the same time.
Its blaze will become one with the gaze of all Natlan.
It says, with our vision for Natlan, which sounds way more useful.
Even amid everlasting darkness,
Everlasting.
our bonds remain eternal.
It's like he couldn't figure out what accent he was going for. And that A slipped through. Tupac. I really should have thought that one through. Oh god, now she's extra glowing radiant. I still hate that shit.
What's wrong, Mualani?
Oh, her tattoos changed completely. No. They're still there. She got new ones. Okay.
So many memories. My brain was just flooded with everything he once knew.
Okay, now that just feels invasive. She didn't ask for that, and he didn't ask for permission. She may not want that.
So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save Natlan started all the way back then.
Elaborate.
We can go over the details once we get back.
Also true.
We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to.
Also true. Ian-san, voice of reason. She just keeps reminding me of the dudes from Final Fantasy XIV Online. What are they? The little twerp things? She just reminds me of them. Does that mean you already know about this whole thing?
I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of the plan. This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the Wyatt first.
Guess it's a job for me. Or not, because suddenly y'all can all chase away the abyss. That makes perfect sense. It totally doesn't make a single lick of sense. So they're putting their power in and I'm siphoning the abyss out. Correct? Correct. Okay. We don't have a pyro person here.
Okay,
Or a
that
dendro.
should be enough.
Or a crow.
Wyatt, can you hear me?
Would have been cooler if the gang was all there. Like in that event we had. The Inazuman one. At least I think it was Inazuman because we had a lot of Inazuman characters in it. We had Aether and Cookie. Generally don't remember who else was there. And Yalan, didn't we end up having like all the elements or like 6 of the 7 elements? It was super cool. Can we do that again? That was awesome.
I hear your voice, Kachina.
I told you it was an old woman.
My dear child.
A correction. It's a younger lady doing an older woman accent. Voice, sorry.
Great.
That's
Well
typical
then,
for this game. Can't
I'm
hire old
afraid
people.
it's time to say goodbye.
Where'd you put them
I
out to
just
pasture?
wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave, but we can't afford to stay here any longer. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone like me, but it's okay. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer. I'll never stop trying to improve my strength. One day, I'll live up to the hero you saw in me.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe that's the exact reason why you were bestowed with an ancient name?
You are already an outstanding child in my eyes, Kachina. No matter what happens. You are all my most beloved children.
Except for me.
It has always
Paimon.
been my honor to protect and nurture you. Your ancient name is just that, a name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina, I also gave you a name, but it need not define you.
I understand what you're trying to say, but isn't that the point of the ancient names? That it does define them? Seems like you're going against the grain there, dear.
Focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. Now, you need only devote yourself to becoming a better you. The story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents, my love for you will never change, no matter what the future holds.
Where's the background music? This scene feels hollow without it.
Thank you, Wyatt.
It's like we have two ends of the spectrum. We have music that's inappropriate for the gravity of the situation, or we just have abject silence, which also doesn't feel appropriate. Give me soundtracks appropriate for cutscenes.
It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it's time for you to leave this place. The situation here is getting worse.
As in, the Pyro Archon needed us to come here? Or that you guys are embracing your ancient... Honestly, I don't see how us being here serves the Pyro Archon's greater plan, so I'm very confused what you mean.
Go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf of all you hold dear.
I know we've never met before, Wyatt, but I just wanted to say thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed to hear.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
Hey, Mavoika, Unite Kingdom's fucked. Your Wyab's corrupted. You're going to hell in a handbasket, I can tell you that now. All of Natlan.
We're out of time.
I think the world is out of
It's
time.
the power of the abyss. Quick, we need to run.
Bye, Wyab. I'm glad you got 2 seconds of clarity, because you're about to go under again.
It's a Sealy! The Sealy opened the way for us!
Hey, man! I haven't seen you in ages, because I'm surrounded by Manitus. What an absolute peach. That's great. I don't want to look behind me. Why would I want to look behind me? Hello? God, I thought she was going to fall off the edge. Game, can I please remind you that my stamina is shit and only does so much and only lasts for so long. So please don't use it against me. You're making this very difficult for me.
The opening in the sky! It's closing!
Well,
We need to hurry,
Jesus.
or we'll be stuck here.
I'm doing my best. Please see previous conversation regarding stamina. Jesus Christ. Tra la 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 la.
Watch out for the falling rocks.
With
Quick,
what
through
stamina,
the middle.
love? I don't exactly have a lot of it to go around. Oh, I was trying to see the light in the sky.
Come on.
Bye, Paimon!
We'll never make it!
Oh, positivity. Optimism. Ah, well, we are fucked. Thanks again, son. Team effort! Except for Morlani, she was useless. That's a pretty image. I really like that image. Oh, fuck us. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I didn't think for a second that we weren't going to get out. Oh, my God. We've got problems, guys. Holy shit. I can't believe they actually went there. Oh, rip. The boy coast. He's getting us out. That's cheating. That's positively cheating. I hope that's not a permanent hole in the night.
You've done
Kingdom.
well. Now come home.
Oh, that was her plan all along. Her plan was to open the Night Kingdom to the sky. Okay. Again, this is all part of a plan that we don't know a single thing about. Is that hole permanently there, by the way? Logic suggests it should be, just like the original hole was that we came through. Get off the screen.
We're back.
Wait. What? Hold up. She has form. Do we not have to do the Ode of Resurrection? Or did the Ode of Resurrection technically work in some capacity and that she was granted her actual body in the Night Kingdom? So she wasn't just a soul, she was whole. Haha. But she was just locked into the Night Kingdom because of the problem with the corruption of the Wyab. Is that what you're telling me? Because I thought we still had to bring back her soul for the Ode of Resurrection to be done correctly. Guess not. Would have been cooler, but whatever.
The Pyro Archon saved us.
No shit.
But she's not here.
How did she regain her strength?
Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
That wasn't her. That was her power that she imbued in the flame, right?
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
Now that.
So you're saying her consciousness did all that?
My explanation was way cooler.
Every great display of power comes at a price.
She's probably comatose at this point.
You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon.
What's a doctor gonna be able to do? Hi, I don't have experience in prolonged exposure to the abyss. It's a little different from the usual scars people get because you were kind of there for a prolonged period of time. Can't help you.
Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor waiting for us.
Did she? I don't remember that.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
I mean, you can't fix it, even if it is. You guys have already discussed that you can't fix abyssal scarring. Why are you so fucking glowy?
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler?
I mean, the abyssal energy doesn't affect me, so I'm fine.
Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Like I said.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night Kingdom as well.
And hopefully Kenichi's back with Lily. I don't remember. The person from the tribe he was going to go see, who's going to be totally a
The
bulletproof
Wyatt
character, I bet you.
mentioned something about the Pyro Archon's plan. What is it exactly?
Why would they know?
I'll let her explain everything.
Wait, you
We're
know?
all a part of the plan now.
Well, actually, I don't know if you know, because that could go either way. It could just be, yeah, I know, but I'll let her explain. Or it could be a, hey, we're now aware it's a plan, we're all part of it, but let's go get her to explain it. It can go either way. That's a very ambiguous phrase.
Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
And that does not clear it up whatsoever. The Great Escape! I am out of phlogiston! Is there any phlogiston in the vicinity? Not that I even use it, but I like it being full, alright? That is not a crime. I don't see any phlogiston doofawhackers. Unless I'm just blind. Ha! It's one right there. You stay over there. Gimme. Thank you. Just because I don't use it doesn't mean I don't want to have it. Okay? That's my logic. You never know when you're gonna need it. Ah! Everyone seems to be at subpar health. Probably should have fixed that. There's still time yet.
Shower me with praise!
Heal, please. If I press Q, does that make her heal? Hold up. That is a fantastic question. Hi. Q. Hydro damage, irrelevant. Will increase damage dealt by an incoming healing bonus of all nearby party members based on the amount of fanfare she has. How does she get fanfare? Must be one of the other skills. I don't know how... Yeah, it doesn't really say anything about health, though. I'm going to assume not. It's only relevant to damage dealing. Oh, well. Gotta listen to the music while we do this. Sorry, Nahida. I think I could put you back on the field. There it is. But the music's pretty. I don't want to get into the cutscene. I can finally hear it. I didn't even know this was back here. Oh! She did mention the doctor. Oh my gosh. I was thinking like a doctor? I don't remember like a doctor being referenced, but Quichi, even though it's a fucking you, but whatever. Quichi was referenced as being waiting here. Yes. I do remember this.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
Is that the sacrifice you had to make?
It's good to see you all here in one piece.
Is that the sacrifice you had to make? Your past? Did she lose her past? Well, that sucks.
I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
I'd rather have my questions answered, please. I'd like to know about the 500-year plan, please.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan.
I have to say, Koichi, I don't like your eyes. The color, nice. I don't like the design. They seem so blank and average and vacant. It's just... It's not working for me.
Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one.
And then the green of your eyes is clashing with the cyan of your clips and your hair. Despite the short stint in the Night Kingdom, Morlania and Ellis all have some degree of abyssal contamination. Well, that was to be expected. Sucks to be y'all. Should have gone by myself. But thanks to Quichi's extensive experience treating abyssal contamination, the harmful effects will not be permanent. Go team. Oops, I have to click. The treatment also relieves Kachina's symptoms, but not her PTSD.
All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days.
I like the way the light's coming through that window. Okay, it's great. Get out of here. I have questions that need to be answered, and they probably can't be answered while you're present.
I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
Because I am?
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
This is the first time that that's occurred to Paimon. That's real sad. We don't know why, though.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
That's why she wanted to speak to the Traveler. Her plan has been changed to include me.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Yeah, get out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time.
Don't know about
I'm
yours.
sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
I feel like your intentions were compromised.
Yeah.
I like your hair. I love that little gradient piece in the front. It's so nice. But then the rest of the color of your hair is such a nice shade. I love the color.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to
Chronologically.
begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom.
That's not where I want you to start. I want you to start chronologically. From 500 years ago, from the fall of Cambria. If we can go from there forward, it'll make sense to me. I'm a very methodical person, please, Mavuka.
I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction.
Oh, we know that
It's very
already.
possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Again, that's not it's not new information. We've literally just witnessed that firsthand.
Huh?
Why are you shocked? I'm not.
No. That can't be true, can it?
But this brings me back to my previous question. Why the fuck are the other Archons not on this bandwagon? Because if Natlan has only 1 year or less to survive, who's next? The other nations as the Abyss spreads across Teyvat. Why are we not rounding up the head honchos going, we have a bit of a problem? It's kind of the same problem we had 500 years ago, but we decided not to talk about that for the past 500 years. But now it's an immediate problem. Can we all just come together and just brainstorm a solution instead of everybody just going their separate way and being selfish and either caring about their own problems or going, oh, we can solve it ourselves. We don't need their help. I just can't with these people. Less than a year. And yes, I know the Archons have given up their no-sees, so they are not exactly as powerful as they used to be, but they still have power in some capacity, depending on who you're talking to. But not even Farina has a vision. But we have a dragon to make up for that. So I really think we need to just get these people together in a fucking room, and not just to drink bloody tea in Liyue. Although that was a cool scene.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation.
Maybe you should have stretched out your hand to other nations before now.
Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
See my previous point, Mavuika?
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion.
May I ask why? Why doesn't Natlan have ley lines? That's kind of weird now that I think about it. Everywhere else does. What's wrong with your land?
The battle against the Abyss
Is it because
was
you have the
exceedingly
phlogiston?
long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
Shouldn't we be waiting till Kenichi's here? Because it seems like something he should be clued in on.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines.
Yeah, and it's corrupted as fuck, so you've got problems.
Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss.
I mean, that itself just begs more questions. Who's our? So, who is she talking about? Because she's the only immortal being in Natlan, excluding the dragon, who we don't know. So, who is our? Is it just people who have died along the way from age? And if you had this time frame in mind, why have you left it to the last minute to do something about it?
But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wyab nearly severed.
Paimon looks really concerned. The Traveler's like, love, I don't care.
If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
Thank you for answering my question. She has not been alive for 500 bloody years. I was right. I was paying attention to the game. Damn it. Screw you, Internet. You're wrong. Mavuika is not 500 years old because the previous Archon, times however many back, is the one who came up with the plan, not her. She is not the one who started the plan, she's just the one keeping it in motion. Okay, so I can't fault you for the original Archon's problems that she didn't address, but I will blame you still for not calling on your fellow Archons now, since you've been in power.
So that's what happened. After finding Gachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
I'm sorry, what? What?
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
Oh yeah, didn't they say that? The Pyro Archon was the only Archon to live a human life. I vaguely recall a mention of that. Huh. What the fuck?
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan.
Yeah?
A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse.
Are you subjected to a curse?
But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
Elaborate.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
So she, then in which case I can blame her. She's the one who came up with the plans, killed herself in the flame, had other Archons do literally fuck all for several hundred years, so that she was finally reborn at the right time to take care of the problem. So my question then becomes, actually I've got lots of questions. I mean, are you human now? I mean, how does that work? Do you have an immortal life now? You're immortal? Are you even here? Do you have form? Or is it all just an illusion and a fallacy? You don't actually have form, you're just a spirit. But putting that aside, do you have your gnosis? Ooh, you have to, otherwise you wouldn't have power. What was the plan? We still haven't gotten to what the actual plan was. The fact that you made it 500 years ago, had people doing nothing in all those years, and then you reappearing at the deadline. What's the actual plan here? That was a part of the plan?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one.
And wait, why is it that Zhongli and Venti don't know about that? They've never once mentioned that the current Pyro Archon was the same as the previous Pyro Archon. Do they just not know who the current Pyro Archon is? Because they don't seem to really get out of their own countries much. I'm sorry, nations. They're not countries. I'd say Teyvat is a country, technically speaking, given its size. But that seems odd that they wouldn't know about that. Okay.
If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, The Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes.
So you let that be their goal, and they don't... So did you not tell them of the impending doom? You gave them a different focus so that you could then worry about that problem when you came back around. Leaving it a bit late though, don't you think?
The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab.
Which you technically did, but it wasn't sufficient.
Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So other than the encroaching abyss, what went wrong?
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity.
We know, we discussed that with the giant.
After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Only in this present day. She wouldn't have known over the 500-year span when she was dead.
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way.
Yes, I did ask, what is the something?
The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them.
Ah, so the Pyro Archons did know the plan. So why wasn't the information passed on? Did they deem that it was too much for them to know and they should focus on strengthening the tribes?
Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wayab has been blocked.
You couldn't have just written it down for people? Or written it down for other people to then tell the next Pyro Archon? Interesting. You were relying solely on mystical methods. It's not the way I would have done it. But then again, I'm a person who has backup plans.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name.
And that's why she wanted people to enter the Night Kingdom. Okay, that's great. You've got 1 out of 6. Congratulations. Really not that much closer to your goal. How do you plan on getting the other 5 to imbue their name?
So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shalonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names.
Oh, that means Kachina's not the Chosen. Because Shalonen's from the Children of Echoes. How do you know they've been acknowledged by their names? Can we get some elaboration on that? I wasn't aware that was a thing. Oh, is that why Iansan had extra knowledge and she kind of knew but wasn't telling? It's because she had the memories. But then Kinich just never mentioned anything. And he seemed confused about things earlier.
During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
That leaves 2 people left. I'm going to assume Chuska. And then the dude starting with O, who I don't remember. I'm assuming is from the final tribe.
But we have less than a year.
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered.
What if they don't get gathered?
That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
The question is, do you tell the 2 people remaining that they need to get their shit together and awaken their Wayab? Because I feel like that's going to put undue pressure on those 2 people. Because what if they can't?
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Literally what I just said. But also, I think it has to be a sincere embodiment of your ancient name. If you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, I don't think that's sincere enough to have it manifest.
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential.
I mean, you said it far more succinctly than I did, but that's literally the intention of my comment.
Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
Okay, Tusker, what the fudge is your true name, ancient name, and what does it mean?
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then?
What's your ancient name?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development.
But what if they don't make it in time? Do we have to, like, manipulate from the sidelines and get them into situations where they can realize their power? Oh, I feel so manipulative. But hey, we have an end date, a goal, a deadline we have to meet. We will do whatever we can to meet that deadline. What if they don't make it in time?
I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab.
Honey, the Wyab is so compromised it's not funny. We gotta rely on our own strength.
I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far.
Sorry, yawning again. I have a question though. I'm full of questions. Why would it take exactly 500 years for your, quotation marks, true heroes to manifest in each of the 6 tribes to then come together to be able to have the strength to fight back the Abyss alongside the Archon? Can you explain to me why the two timelines perfectly align? Why couldn't the heroes manifest 50 years prior? Okay, humans, 50 is not a good number. 20 years prior. And then they could have, you know, all those extra years to manifest their true name, ancient name, and be ready to go come D-Day instead of going, yeah, guys, we've got a year left. Get your shit together. Feels like you kind of, it's left a little too late. Why is the timeline so short?
Natlan's salvation lies
Rushed.
not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all.
Does that mean that
You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Honey, I'm asking way too many questions. There's avoiding nothing here right now.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
That was a sacrifice, wasn't it?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose. Fuel.
Yep.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited. But together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation.
I actually like that plan. That's a solid plan. I like that aspect.
By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
That's fine. They serve their purpose. I mean, sure, they could have held sentimental value for till the end of time, but I would argue that this was a better purpose for them.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's the beauty of stories, Paimon. The stories will continue to be told and shared through time, evermore.
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't
That's why Aeon's, sorry, completely different from what she's saying. That's why Aeon-san and Kanich were the two she kept behind and discussed the other actions that they were going to take. It's because they'd both awakened and so they were aware of their role to play. Okay, that makes more sense.
And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival.
Sorry, I'm thinking back to her photo. Her picture, well, it was a photo, it was a painting, a picture of the drawing. So I was still right. Her family is totes dead 500 years ago. Well, within that time period, because that would have been from her human family from before. So where did she come from this lifespan? Did she come back fully formed? Did nobody think that was odd? Did no one question where she came from? How did the Pirate Archon prior to her die and she took up the mantle? I have many logistical questions that I kind of feel they're never going to answer and are going to remain in a massive plot hole for me, because it feels odd that the people of Natlan will be like, who's that? Usually the Pirate Archon's someone they know who ascends, but this chick, where'd she come from? Or was she naturally born into Natlan again? I have so many questions, and you're never going to tell me, are you?
If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
I don't. It was the perfect use for them. Are you going to be a hoarder, Kachina? Because the room is starting to look like a hoarder central.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form.
Memories.
In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come.
Fuel.
Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power, just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Of what kind?
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime.
Of grape juice?
Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars.
Which should fuel your contender fire. Shit, what was it called? I don't know. Your sea fire. And you can start your pilgrimages again. Oh, actually, we didn't really fix the Ode of Resurrection problem, so probably not.
And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Like I said, we still haven't fixed the Ode of Resurrection problem, though, and I don't think there is any fixing it until we fix the larger issue at hand, which is the end of Natlan. So we still have a big problem for the populace, losing faith.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
It's for the people, Mualani. Again, it's not about you.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right, you should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
Is she gonna collapse since she's weakened and she doesn't want us to witness it? I feel like that's the case.